Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Pivot. I'm Andy Buchanan.
And I'm Laura-Ann.
So we are here on behalf of Project LUMIÈRE doing an interview series called The Pivot. It's designed to highlight people in our industry who have been able to pivot and find a new way forward in our new normal. We just hope it inspires others.
And today we are so happy to have Lara Jacobs with us. Thanks for joining us, Lara.
Yes.
Lara, Lara was our balance goddess on Cirque du Soleil's Amaluna most recently. However, now she is the show and concept producer of her new show, MoonRise in New York. And we'll get her to talk a little bit more about MoonRise later on. So let's just jump right into it. Lara, I've known you for quite a few years now. And I have to say that whenever there's something that is a roadblock or gets in the way of being an artist, you always seem to come up and find solutions. If there's no jobs, you go and create a show, or you collaborate with new partners and take risks on new projects and stuff. So how do you, I know like in the loges, you'd always be like, oh, just go do that, you know? So how do you find it in yourself to constantly keep taking risks, overcome the fear of failure, and just make things happen?
I think it's because I was raised that way. I was born into an artistic family touring in a big tub. And whenever I wanted something that was not just given to me, I had to work for it. So when I was a kid, I started having a little merchandise business because I didn't like the food on tour. So my father was like, if you don't like the food, you need to make money to buy your own food. So I started a little lavender bags series. And because we always had our big tub in parks, because our big tub was out of willow, so it's like a natural kind of theme. So we were always in parks where there's tons of flowers and stuff. So I went to pick flowers and dried them and then wrapped them up and sold them to the spectators of our show. And my father was like, I needed to give him 20% of my proceeds. And so, at that point, I didn't really understand why. And he just taught me the business, how to that it's not just for free, that you can use his audience. So he taught me how to put, some money away to buy new material to craft more. And then he, told me I needed to give him 20% and then use the other 20% to, buy the food that I wanted to buy to go to McDonald's or whatever.
How old were you during this whole
6
lesson he was doing? 6?
6, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I think that was my first, project I had to plan myself. And then later on I started to do the whole box office and I always was in the middle of the whole production. So I was, integrated in the big tub, putting it up and tearing it down. And then I was in the show performing, and then, we were living on site as well. And so I was constantly like in this life since I'm born, and I don't know much else. So of course, back then when I was a kid, that whole way of life wasn't a trend like it is now. Like now we have Burning Man, we have Tulum, we have all these, bohemian festivals. And at that time, it wasn't exactly a trend. So sometimes it was really hard. So we always had to fight, come up with new ways to survive and to, make money, produce. So when this whole pandemic happened, it wasn't really like something new for me. I was like, okay, just another year, you have bad years, you have good years.
Right.
So yeah, that's a little bit of like my background.
You're so lucky to have a mentor from such a young age to kind of be like,
Yeah.
This is normal. You have to move forward no matter what. if you want food that you want, you have to figure out how to do it. It's like life lessons are more important than anything.
Of course, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you're obviously an opportunity maker, and I'm going to list all the things you do. I have to read it because there's so many. So you're not just an artist, but you're a project manager, a creator, a director, a decorative designer, a casting agent. You know, one of the biggest challenges when you're in all these roles and creating new projects is, where does the money come from? So what advice do you have to people who are looking to get investors or get people interested in your passion financially?
I guess it depends what you want to do. I think from my experience, if you want to open a venue like I do right now, like, you know, whatever it is, an art space, a school, a show, something like that, or even if you want to have a big top or a touring show, investors will not give you money before you have the venue. You need to show them something other than paper. So if you've never done anything before, they're not going to give you money, most likely. Like before you have actually like something to show, like in real life, like not just a paper file. Because to be honest, anybody can put their idea on a paper and no one cares about it, because people want to see if you can actually execute your idea and not just talk about it, because so many people talk. And so from my experience, you need to ask people who you trust you, like friends and family, or get like a personal loan. Right now, if you have an existing business, you can apply for SBA loans, for example, and then get a space. And then from there, once you have the space, you create like a deck for your project, and you talk to people who've done similar things, and you come up with numbers, and then that's when you get investors and sponsors and the rest of the financials together. So a lot of people think it's the other way around, but from my experience, that doesn't really work, especially not here in the United States. I mean, it might be different in other places, but here people definitely want to, see you execute something, that you're not just like talking about an amazing idea and then, they give you 50,000 and then everything just goes down the drain.
Right.
So yeah, so that's a little bit the thing. Like you have to also weigh out what is first, the chicken or the egg. Of course, you need money to get a space, so you have to like maybe get like loans from friends and family to do the first few steps, and then after that it should be possible to get more funding.
So I know you have done a lot of projects, not just in the States, but back in Europe, like even with your father's circus and stuff. But is it kind of the same process as well? You guys are always trying to like find a venue first?
No, because my father he's way more established than myself. He started when he was 20. And now he's 65, so 45 years makes a big difference. So he doesn't have to do that anymore. So he can just say, hey, this was my last project. This was the numbers of the last projects. I'm going to do something similar. Everybody knows they will get their return, or whoever. Most of the projects now he can even fund himself because he just has the resources for it after all these years.
Right.
And then sponsors and government, like after all these years, they will also support you. But you ask me about someone who wants to try something new, so that's a little bit of a different, process, I think.
Yeah,
that's
definitely
great advice. I guess investors want to see that you have some skin in the game. Also, you're invested and you're going to follow through.
Yeah.
So what's one thing that you always want to try and keep in mind when you're starting new adventures or projects, and just stand for as Lara? be true to?
What I want to be true to? Good question.
It's a deep question.
Yeah, it's because it's hard to answer, because I mean, the thing is like, I think the sky's the limit, to be honest. I always figure out new sides of myself, and I mean, I'm always open to learn. I have this habit of like, kind of meeting with people that I look up to, like big producers, and get closer to them, and just kind of like get in their circles to learn from them. Because I mean, there's always a million things that you need to learn, and it's always good to have people who have more experience than you in your circle, and that you can ask for their opinion and get different opinions. And sometimes one person will tell you something completely different from another person. So sometimes they will tell you that your idea sucks, because these type of people, they will not shy away from telling you that you suck. So I think like even though someone tells you that your idea sucks and you really believe in it, I think that you should still go for it and prove them wrong. And I think that's something that I always do. So it's more an overall thing, I guess, rather than like sticking to something specific. Because now I started to sell furniture. Like, who would have thought? I don't know. Like, it just like
this is exactly what I'm talking about. You always just happen to have like some random project on the side.
Yeah, because like all of a sudden, like I custom made seating for my old venue that I had, and all of a sudden everybody loved these seats, and then I was like, fine, I'll produce some more and sell them. Might as well make some extra money. So
I love that.
Now I have a furniture production, and so I think like you shouldn't limit yourself to something. Some people say, oh, you just need a sorry, I don't know. You can't just focus on one thing. And this, you always need like 10, not even 2. You need 10 different backup plans, just in case like one doesn't. The first one, the second one, the third one might not work out. So, you never know. Like, you have to have a lot of different backup plans, in my opinion. So people are like, well, which one do you want to do? I was like, well, I'm going to try to do all of them. I mean, we all know that not all of them are going to succeed, so you need to be ready for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's actually a perfect segue to the next question. Project LUMIÈRE is a lot about mental health and people doing things and trying to find a way to find time for themselves and happiness. And you've got not just all the things I listed, but you're also doing your headpieces and your balanced goddess miniature. So first question about that is, how do you find time for yourself to just unwind and get some me time in?
I mean, I do. I guess that's also the beauty of being your own boss. I think now, anyways, it's a special time. I can't do the gigs that I was doing before. So I was flying around the world. So now I have a lot more time because I'm actually not flying around the world. So, but I think there's one thing that I don't have hobbies, because everything that I like to do, it's kind of like, intertwined in my work. So if I don't work, I probably sleep or go out or maybe like go to the beach or something. It's definitely possible. I mean, I think that you have to find a balance, to like get rest and get family time.
That's what I love is that, as you said, like your work is what you love to do. So it's like, everyone's heard the saying of like, you do what you love in your life, then you never have to work a day in your life, you know, and it's just one of those things. You're not going to pour your heart and soul into a new project if you don't really love it and believe in it. So
yeah, for
Totally.
sure.
Now, the other thing is, you can you have some of the balance goddess miniature you can show everybody. Do you have that right now?
Yeah. I
Love to see that and let everybody
Let me
see
see
it.
do I have to change the camera? Yeah, hold on. So this is the box. There's like little magnets in here to hold this down. And then, yeah, there's a little description. And then, you know, there's this little miniature version for you to try yourself.
all handmade by Lara.
And it's so cool to show people you can make anything you want. If you have an idea, run with it, because it's...
Yeah, so this one I made actually for Amaluna, for the merchandise shop. So it has the Cirque logo still on it.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, that was a project as well. I mean, these things are, you know, people are like, oh, it's cute. I was like, yeah, it only took me 3 years. You just can't give up. But that's what I'm saying. The issue is that you need to do things parallel, because some things literally will take 3 years or 5 or 1, or, you know, you never know. So you need to have different things at the same time lined up, because you never know how long things are going to take, especially dealing with big corporations. It's, you know, it can be endless.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
that's awesome. So that's great, Lara. Can you tell us now just a little bit about what MoonRise is, and maybe the concept of your new show and where it's located?
So MoonRise is a concept that is based on the lunar cycle. So each full moon is represented by a different goddess in mythology. So it's similar to astrology, and which is based on the solar cycle, but our system is based on the lunar cycle. So for each cycle, there's a new mythology that we tell, a new story that we tell. So you enter, and then you have to find out which goddess that you're assigned to, and you get a card with a description of your personal goddess and your personal herb and spirit animal, and your symbol on the front of the card. And that's basically your ticket into the temple. So that's basically like the overall concept. I mean, it's all evenings is then about so it's a bit hard to check it out. You know, when you're ready. We're here in Brooklyn, in Bushwick, where everything's happening at the moment. In New York, it's pretty crazy around here. Even during this, also lots of big spaces, and so we're hoping to open sometime next year, February or March.
Fantastic. And you know what we can do is we'll give a full description in Project LUMIÈRE when we share it on the site.
Yeah, sure.
You know, your information, so everybody has it. You were breaking up a little bit during that description.
Okay, sorry. I don't know why.
No, but it sounds amazing, and we're just so fortunate you took the time out of your busy schedule to like be with us.
Of course.
And share this valuable information. It was really insightful.
Yes.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
And I mean, yeah, and if anyone has questions about these things, I can, they can contact me too. It's always, I can always give advice to people who want to start a project.
That's so great, Lara.
That's great.
Thank you for offering that, because this is all about connection and collaboration. And some people, as you mentioned earlier, just have no idea what it takes to really start something. So from someone who's started from the bottom a lot. And
Yeah.
it's really great to have you on this episode of The Pivot. So thank you for that. And we
Sure.
hope to continue bringing stories of,
no problem.
yeah, we hope to continue bringing stories of encouragement and inspiration to everyone. So keep checking back in for new episodes of The Pivots. So thank you, everyone. Thanks, Lara. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Lara. Thanks, Laura.